Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Welcome back.
Is it
Ducky.
different?
A little bit. A little bit. It looks more blue than it was before.
Okay, hold on. I think I can fix that.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. As we are diving into game number 1 of this best of 3 series and spawning in at the top left hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have a very patient player. He was waiting the entire time that we were in that game on 2K atmospheres. So, you know, hopefully that patience has paid off for him, as now he is here in this game. It is the Purple Protoss player hailing from the land of Australia, currently teamless. It is Pezz.
And spawning in the bottom right with the proxy racks, it is representing Pakistan. Give it up. He's a patient one as well. It is Raza.
Oh my god, already popping off here with a little bit of a cheeky play. The racks right next to his opponent so the Reaper can jump off this cliff and go into that mineral line. Meanwhile, Pezz goes for a bit of a probe scout and he confirms, hold on, where the hell is your racks?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, right, this isn't, you know, it's not definitely a proxy. A lot of Terrans, they just put their racks outside the naturals. You see Pezz scouting around, gonna be looking for that racks, but this isn't a bluff. This is a Reaper right next to the jump up spot outside Pezz's base. So yeah, this is gonna be something to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Pezz just quickly checking behind the natural base as well, looking for that proxy in case it was a bluff. Would you see that Pezz even has a zealot on the way just to be safe, just to have something to defend? And oh, we even have a bunker being thrown down in the natural.
Yeah, we do indeed. This is a this is kind of wild. It's a position that RNG does come a bit into play. Pezz gonna finish the zealot so he can get some damage, but the Reaper's already here.
Ooh, the Reaper is already here. One probe already going down. We'll see how much more damage he can deal. At the same time, Zealot is going to be dealing with that bunker. There we go, does force the cancel, so at least Pezz doesn't have to worry about that, but he still has to worry about the Reaper as he even gets a second probe.
Yeah, this is great damage, and keep in mind it's only one Reaper. The second Reaper is on the way as well. But yeah, this is fantastic, and Raza's not even fretting about this. He's just kind of, you know, it's the second Reaper so he can have map controls, keep tabs on the Stalker, and he's just getting his factory and a Widowmine back at home.
Yeah, there we go. He is just transitioning. We have the CC on the high ground to make sure that, you know, it doesn't get delayed, it doesn't get cancelled, doesn't get destroyed or anything like that. He is transitioning very nicely here back at home. So a decent start. It is a bit of a shame that he lost his first Reaper. I'm sure he would have loved to have two so he can pose a little bit of a bigger threat here in the middle of the map. But regardless, he at least he finds the Zealots. He can chip away at this as well.
Yeah, it's actually a good pick. A good pick up for Raza, keeping tabs as Zealot. Really smart there by Pezz though to kind of. Oh wow! Good save.
Yeah, exactly. Utilizing that tall grass to his advantage to try and get a couple of swipes on that Reaper. Regardless, the Zealot survives, and now it is being babysitted by, or being cradled by this Stalker as he comes across the map to try and maybe even delay that CC, but it's not on the low ground, so it's okay.
Yeah, that Widowmine. I feel like the Zealot needs to be careful here, does Pezz. He knows the game, he's played a bit of Terran lately. Just gonna back off and keep his units in check. So the one thing we keep in mind that the natural still is not landed for Raza, so it's a he's gonna land it now, but yeah, nothing too crazy so far.
Yeah, the CC is on the way. Meanwhile, back at home, we have a very interesting opener from Pezz because the Madman goes for a Robo first. So we'll see what he goes for. He did go for Disruptor drops earlier today against a Zerg player. We'll see if he goes for Disruptor again or instead for a Colossi, which is more standard.
Yeah, or it could be a Colossi drop as well. Like Banshee on the way here. I feel like Banshee really good against Robo play. A couple Stalkers coming to compensate that tech choice by Pezz. But yeah, we'll have to see what this Banshee can actually get up to. As an Observer's on the way, so should be finished in time for Cloak. Shouldn't get too much done, but you know, you never know if Banshee is.
Yeah, exactly. So far, the Banshee does get swatted away, but now that Cloak is done, detection is required to help deal with it. But there it is, the Observer shows up, the Banshee gets shut down. What's important is that the Banshee dies in the natural, didn't get into the main, hasn't seen the opener.
Exactly, the tech choice hasn't been scouted, and Twilight Council, you know, TvP, it's a game of stalkers, right? Like, it's a stalker all in, it's stalker pressure, the stalkers on the map just to chill, but it doesn't really give too much information, because that's kind of common, what you'd expect at this point. Does catch the Observer, so he knows now it is a robo, but Raza, it looks like, is he going to want to push out these 2 tanks? And I don't think Colossus are the greatest kind of tech choice. Look at all those SCVs coming.
Oh, let's go. The boys are being pulled as well to help repair and to help buffer for this army. Sure, there may be a Colossi, but yo, these Stalkers, they're vanilla. They don't have Blink. They don't have any upgrades. Like, this push can do a lot.
Yeah, no, that's right, actually. Kind of, it's a very, like, difficult force to deal with, given what Pezz has. He's got a shield battery in place, but tanks, he can take his time and just slow push him, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He does have a 3rd base on the way, and Raza's pretty committed, but oh man, like, I don't know. It's scary looking.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Marines can't really push on forward because of the Colossi, but as you were saying, Raza just has to take this slow and steady. The tanks are slowly sieging on forward. Bunkers are on the way as well. He has to be a little bit careful not to expose himself. Honestly, I feel like the Banshees could have a little bit more free reign, and there we go. He pushes on forward. Without Blink, it's really difficult to deal with these Banshees, and really difficult to stop them from even targeting down the Colossi.
Yeah, definitely, and the bunkers are just going to reinforce this push and make it even stronger and stronger. Another Colossus coming to the fray, shield batteries too, but there's only like 4 Stalkers now, lad, and he's going to be, you know, these Banshees are a lot of DPS, but Pezz, he can't really jump in. He needs charge, but it's so far away, extended thermal lance too. This is a really good timing by Raza.
Yeah, the gateway goes down. The Cybercore is going to go down as well. You were talking about how few Stalkers there were. Well, soon there's going to be even less because they cannot be morphed in. To be fair, I guess he wants Zealots anyway. They will help buffer. They will help keep this Colossi alive. The Cybercore, it's gone, mate.
Unless you're present with a shield battery, no, he's not going to. A bit of a misstep there, I'd say, for Pezz, because these Zealots, you know, they are helpful. But just look at this position again, turning offensive angle into a defensive one, right? And yeah, what does Pezz do? He's trapped in here. There's one angle to come from unless he recalls to the 3rd, and it's from 2 sides. I don't know how he can deal with this.
Yeah, technically he could. What I love as well is that Raza never stopped Banshee production. He's even still making one now. Like, he's just going mass Banshee. No, the shield batteries get depowered. Overcharge is not going to be available. These Banshees are not going to allow these pylons to finish up.
Yeah, they are not indeed, as the shield batteries get taken out. I'm not even sure if there's an Observer on the field, and Pezz, he just says, stuff it, I'm just going to go. Jumps in, and the spread is insane. Even target fire coming down on the tanks and the Colossus, and yeah, the shield battery, super battery pops, and this charge now finished, but there's still 3 bunkers and 3 tanks left, even a depot to reduce surface area.
Yeah, exactly. There's just so much here. What I will say is that, I mean, Pezz was able to at least alleviate some of the pressure. He was able to kill a couple of those tanks and as well as those Banshees, so he did trade, but I don't know if he's ever really going to be able to break out. At least charge is done, so his Zealots are they're gonna help out quite a bit.
Yeah, and the 3rd base now coming under duress, and I feel like there's no way at all Pezz can kind of deal with this. He's still making Colossus. He can't really, you know, he's kind of putting all his eggs in one basket. He kind of has to, but here he comes again. To be fair, there's not a whole lot of Marines here, but there's still enough. Here they come from the 3rd base, and yeah, Pezz, it looks like he's trying to hold on, but it's just not happening. Like, those Colossus are so weak.
It's just not happening. I was about to say that, yo, I want the Marines to like stim on forward and get those Colossi, but they actually don't have stim. They don't have any upgrades because of the build. Like, there just were no tech labs on the Marines, so it's difficult to really dive on this army as the Terran player. But again, he's not interested in diving. The slow push is real. He even threw down the NG Bay on the front line. Oh my god.
Yeah, gonna get some building armor to help out. Yeah, as you were saying, like, maybe if Pezz just kind of chilled for the whole time, was patient, he could maybe get enough units out, but just because he keeps kind of jumping in and trying to end the game as SCVs come to help out, he just yeah, he can't even deal with this Banshee now. I think it's all over, like.
Yeah, there's no detection here. The Banshee can do whatever the hell he wants. An Observer's on the way, but it's not done yet. There was an opportunity there for the Banshee to maybe get a kill on the shield battery, but Raza is playing the safe. He doesn't want to overextend. He doesn't want to throw away his units.
That's right, yeah, in a big game like this, even scans left-hand side safe as a base mining. Yeah, just go. Immortal comes to help, Art comes as well, but there's just too much Sim City, and Pezz's army's just gonna disappear. There's nothing else he can really do here, and GG, it's cold. Raza's gonna take game number 1.
Wow, GG,
Wow.
well played. I'm curious if Raza even knew that Pezz went for Robo first, because this was ideal against that, or if he just gambled and he was just going to go for this push anyway. I'm kind of curious,
Yeah, it could be possible. It is a pretty small rush distance map, either. Again, as we were alluded earlier, they don't play very often, so it may not have been just, it may have just been like planned from the start, but yeah, we're gonna hop into game number 2 on our favorite map, 2000 Atmospheres. Oh, light, here we go. Yeah.
Here we go. We are getting ready to dive on in. Is this going to be the end of the series, or are we going to see our Protoss player fight back? That is the question. Are we going to go to that ace match? How far is this going to go? Will we get to sleep? Stay tuned.
Tuned indeed. We'll see. Yeah. Making sure all the casters are in, players are ready. But yeah, what would you say the last snap? Would you say Berlingrad would have been Raza's pick?
I would assume so. I feel like that's maybe I'm biased a little bit, but I do feel like, you know, Terrans do prefer Berlingrad from time to time. I would assume that would be his pick, and then I would assume that this would be Pezz's pick.
Yeah, definitely. 2000 Atmospheres. We're very familiar with it so far. It's a map where there's a little bit more freedom. You know, you're not kind of trenched in. It's a little bit easier to defend choke points. They're not directly kind of outside your base, right? Like that natural was under duress. But yeah, we'll have to see whose playstyle kind of thrives more under these conditions of this map. But regardless, here we go, spawning in the top right corner of the map. It is the purple Protoss. Can he bring it back and take it to an ace match? The Australian Protoss, it's Pezz.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Pakistani Terran player himself, representing himself and leading in this series 1-0. Only needs uno más, un momento, to move on to that lower bracket finals. It is Raza.
Sorry, my handful. Put the production tab on it. But yeah, we see Pezz scouting away. Oh, sorry, Raza scouting away. This time after opening like last series, do you reckon Pezz is a little bit more concerned for proxies? He'll feel that he is scouting that racks, but I would have liked to see you know, this map has 2 jump up spots. Oh, engineering bay going down. It has 2 jump up spots, so I really would have liked to see Raza even just fake a racks, just to make Pezz a little uneasy after last game.
Yeah, there's a reason why we were focusing our camera on that SCV. It was quite early, goes for the NG block, so being a little bit annoying. Doesn't get the most HP on it, only around 50%, so not the biggest of deals. Pezz can deal with this, but the SCV is coming back. He wants to, okay. I was like, does he want to try and rebuild it? No, he's just going in for a scout.
Yeah, unlike Terran, Protoss has to build on location. You can't lift it. That's why you don't see kind of any pylon blocks too often on like the natural bases of Terrans. But yeah, Zealot coming to help out here too. And it's nothing major. It does suck any block, but you'll just, you know, add a probe or 2 before he gets his next down. And meanwhile, what is this probe doing?
Oh, we'll see. So the Cyber Core is done here. I was curious to see if Pezz was going to maybe try and proxy some kind of tech as a response to his Nexus being so delayed. But we'll see. So far, the probe is just kind of chilling here. You know, he hasn't decided to throw down a pylon yet. And back at home, Raza is just transitioning nicely. Ooh, actually throwing down a second Rax, and I imagine a third. Yeah, oh, let's go!
Ooh, got 3 barracks on Norway, alright. This is exciting. Do you know what they're going to be making?
Oh, Reapers.
Yes, how'd you know? Yeah, you're so smart, dude.
Oh my god.
Yes, 3 racks, and this build, it can work in both TvP and TvZ as nice little pick off their delays. This command center. do you kind of, yeah, do you think this Marine count's tipping anything off to Pezz? Or do you think this just looks like normal? Because it either means he's got extra racks or he's not popped a reactor on his racks yet.
Yeah, I mean, like, with this Marine count, it isn't too much of a tell because it could still be, you know, like just a reactor racks, which I mean is a little bit sus to be fair. Pezz can be kind of trying to piece this together a little bit, but again, still unclear. And hopefully he can see this though, because again, like 3 racks builds, like they can hit quite a timing, especially if unscouted.
100%. As we see, there's a chop, please. Combat shield and sim. Pezz losing that Stalker is quite annoying because normally against the 3x, I feel like you want to kind of get some Stalkers out to... Oh, be careful. Get some Stalkers out just to keep tabs, kite the army a bit. If you force a stim, that's even, like, wonderful. But, yeah, losing the early units early on, it's not, I don't know, I feel like Pezz isn't in the greatest position. He's not a bad position, but it's not too great, is it?
Yeah, it could definitely be better, as you were saying. Meanwhile, it is a more standard opener from Pezz, Twilight Council into Blink. It's the bread and butter of PvT, you know, it's what we kind of expect. It's either this or a Stargate opener. So with this, he will have the maneuverability of these Stalkers. I also appreciate that he is keeping them here in the middle of the map, ready to spot anything to come out and chip away at any kind of push and slow down that Bioforce, which is kind of what you were alluding to. But more importantly, he still needs to get an eye on this army. Once he sees these Marauders, he will know 100% what's going on. He will recognize, okay, mate, it is a 3 racks.
Yeah, this is some Marauders. He knows exactly. He's played this build before. He's going on, but oh, there we go. A bit of a juke happening there by Raza. Going to come from a different angle.
Yeah.
This slows his push down slightly, but it kind of allows him the freedom not to, you know, worry too much. But this Observer's going to catch wind of the push out, the move out, and that third base is going to be a contested area very soon, like.
Yeah, nice rotation from both players. Pezz keeping up with the shenanigans of Raza, but is he going to lose a little bit too much here? Bearing in mind that, already one Stalker going down, a lot of Marauders with this army. Will this third ever finish? Does Raza even care about the third? Okay, he does. He turns around and he will focus it down.
That's right, and Pezz might have to wait until Stim finishes to engage. This cancels the third, but now Raza's kind of backing himself into the corner a bit. Pezz still needs to be careful. If Raza can get all these units out without kind of like losing too many of them, that's a very successful push for him.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to maybe turn around here, but there is detection regardless. Pezz does have the Observer in siege mode. The army turns around, but it's not going to be enough, and this gets cleaned up.
Yeah, it does indeed. As Pezz, he managed to take the attack, get rid of it, and drops his tech choice. But yeah, it's kind of, he did get the third base cancelled, so you may have to readjust his game plan a little bit as he retakes it straight away. Scan going down and sees the gas is being taken, knows tech is on the way of some sort of choice. But yeah, it looks like, are we having this game light, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, Raza, that scan actually did see the robotic space, so he knows that Colossi should be coming out. He knows about the more robo-centric composition coming out from Pezz, not so much Swarm Toss, but we'll see. Yo, the counterattack, the tanks aren't ready. Uh-oh.
Yeah, really good blink there. There is enough bio to kind of deflect this, but Pezz actually catching these valuable Marauders, does get one. And there we go. And Raza should know this Observer in this location. But yeah, look, wow, look at that fourth base. Like, that is quite fast indeed by Pezz.
Oh, very greedy. I like it though. Again, double expanding, kind of like the Zerg response when you do have a base denied, a base cancelled. So yeah, he's going to be able to make up for that there with that fourth base. At the same time, Blink Stalkers do come in, do rotate towards the natural base. Don't get too much damage though, because Raza does finally get that tank out.
Yes, he does indeed. That helped him stabilize in this position. And Pezz, what's his worker count out? It looks like he's just churning out workers and gateways. There's very kind of heavy gateway style, a little bit reminiscent of what we've been seeing by Hero and ZDT. Just kind of keeping tabs on your opponent, because keep in mind, he did clean up all of those bio units, and he still will need to kind of just be careful. He can't take a straight up fight with these Stalkers. But, ooh, big stim there. I feel like, is Raza going to push here? Surely not.
He's going to try. He did force the stim out, so making the best use of it, but he does end up losing a medevac in the process, so nice control there and target fire by Pezz to be able to slow him down. And from here, Raza, he's just going to try and get this third base up and running, fourth base behind it as well. Things are kind of slowing down for him, but again, because he lost all that bio army that we saw earlier, he did kind of relinquish map control, and it does mean that Pezz can do whatever he wants. So, I mean, I have to commend them again for double expanding and getting that fourth up.
Yeah, that's right. And we have to kind of see like the contrast in this game for Pezz compared to last game, where Raza really had him kind of pinned in. You know, it was an oppressive two-base kind of build, bunkers, even non-combative buildings. But there's so much more freedom. Pezz brushing my mic. So much more freedom compared to the previous game. He's already got 4 bases, and this fourth base has not been contested at all. Like Pezz is looking really good at this stage. Another forge coming down. I'd say that. Yeah, Raza, the onus is kind of on him to get some damage done, because he's been very passive. Of course, 3x delays the medevacs. He can't get much harass done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why it was that much more important that one of the medevacs did end up falling as well. It was sniped earlier by Pezz, so that means any kind of drop play was delayed. We do have a decent amount of medevacs now here at the natural, but Raza still hasn't gone for any kind of drop. Looks like he's moving out with a small force, maybe just to contest the watchtower, just to, you know, be a little bit active on the map, but Pezz just has eyes everywhere.
Yeah, one thing I want to say that's been really well done by Pezz. I don't know if it's Pezz doing, like, being good with it, or Raza just not being conservative enough, but like the stims, he's been kind of forcing out, you know, a lot of these stim packs. The medevac has no energy left. When you're playing in, you know, when you execute a strategy that delays your medevacs, all the energy you get is really important. He's done a really good point, even though he's not killing units, like just making the healing just go away. And well, there's a few more medevacs joining now, but it's been really well done by him.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of taunting his opponent a little bit, forcing those stims whenever he can. And now Pezz is really getting into the swing of things. He's now fully saturated on 4 bases. He has all of his gases as he's taking them here at his third as well. And we're getting our second robo, I imagine, to switch into disruptors.
Yes, we are indeed. Like, something to keep in mind too, we've also got ghosts on the way from Raza. So ghosts, they're a good unit, I'll say. They have, you know, they have snipe, which does bonus damage to all biological Zerg. They have EMP, which does bonus damage to all shields. So really good, well-rounded unit. That's the reason they're so expensive. But yeah, Pezz now he's on the map, chilling a little bit more free, getting his like tech DT shrine on the way. Yeah, I'd still say I favor him a bit, but Raza's got a, you know, it's quite a stalker-heavy army, and there's a lot of Marauders in Raza's army, so I wouldn't say he's out at all, especially when he's defending against this. But oh, Pezz will need to be careful here.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to push into an entrenched position. We have missile turrets, we have tanks, we have the planetary as well. He has to respect the stars, don't want to throw away any kind of lead. And he's just poking and prodding, and this is fine, to be honest, right? Like, he's just confirming the location of the army, the bases, he's getting his disruptors out. And this is where the dynamic changes a little bit, right? We've seen a lot of people sometimes complain about disruptors, you know, sometimes one Nova is all you need, and you have to be so on point with making sure you can either outzone them or micro and split against them. And unfortunately, at this stage of the game, Raza, he may have ghosts, but he hasn't been able to get into Liberators. Like, he doesn't really have control of the ground right now.
Yeah, kind of have to like keep in mind that you can split fantastically against disruptors, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to find a way to kill them if you want to win the games. And all it takes is just one good hit. And disruptors, they're not the easiest unit to kind of I guess defend with, because obviously your opponent can run back, but being aggressive, your opponent's a bit more pinned in. But with the siege tank set up here and the split from the bunker, this is kind of I'm not sure how these disruptors are gonna go here. Like,
oh my god, meanwhile both armies completely miss each other. We are going basically full base trade mode right now. Pezz is gonna get this third base immediately. At the same time, Raza goes in, gets the 5th base, and even drops into the main.
Oh yeah, if you can get that Dark Shrine, that would be really helpful for him here, but we might have a base trade on our hands. Really like the angle that Raza's kind of attacking from, you know, the Pezz. He's right in top 2, he's near the production, and unlike Protoss, like Terran, you know, if your main's compromised, you're in a bit of trouble here, but anything could happen here, like.
Yeah, exactly. It's whether or not Pezz decides to recall. Right now, he takes down the natural base as well. His own main is compromised, to be fair, so there aren't that many safe locations to kind of fall back to. Meanwhile, the disruptor!
DT is helping out a lot as well. But now these robos, both players are supply block. This is all the units are going to have at least until they lose some. And actually, who do you think's getting the upper hand here? Because so many bio in the main still.
Yeah, exactly. We have another Nova. There we go. There used to be bio in the main. It is all being cleaned up here on both sides. I have to say that the edge, I feel like Raza has a little bit more of a sophisticated army with his ghosts, but DTs, they just keep being morphed in, and we are running out of scans.
Yeah, I feel like I do have to say a little bit disappointed by Pezz to not recognize the situation and drop more pylons so he can warp in more units. He's floating a lot of minerals, but this could be the fight they're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. He recalls all the way back home. We only have a single disruptor and he gets focused down before the Nova does connect. There are no more Colossus, there are no more Immortals, there's nothing else, only Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, and it looks like there's not going to be enough units. There is something in there. Is it a Colossus drop coming in? What a brave Colossus.
Oh my god, the all army is real. DTs are coming on in. A couple of Zealots as well. Is this going to be enough?
Yeah, no, it looks like there's no scans for Raza. He's got one orbital that's forced to lift off, however. And with the DTs, Pezz is going to be able to hold on.
Wow, he barely holds on. The Colossus does die there with its dying swipe. Meanwhile, back across the map, the CCs are burning down. Raza does have one base, a pretty well fortified base at that, with a mistart for that detection.
Yeah, and well, preps for Pezz, because you saw when he attacked, he kind of took out the orbital, the orbital, the main, and the orbital third was a little bit weak, but in the end, there's just no scans, and there's no way for Raza to kind of deal with what has happened, and he can fortify this third base position Raza can and keep it safe, but the main is exposed as we see Widowmine's going to be defending for now.
Borrow, Papi, borrow. Okay, he's controlling those Widowmines. Meanwhile, we have a scan here confirming that, okay, both players are essentially on one base economy right now, but Pezz has two Nexi, so we can produce a couple of workers at a time. I say that, but Raza also has two bases, so pretty interesting economic position here. Very relatively even army supplies, but again, I really like the addition of the DTs here.
Yeah, the DTs is really big brain. The Ghost can EMP to reveal the as well. There we go. But Disruptor forcing them back, and actually, like, we need to thank you to Apoptosis for the raid. Party 49. We hope you had a good stream. You've joined us at a crazy moment. Forgive us, but I don't know what's gonna happen this game.
Mate, what just happened is that Nova killed the only Ghost. Is what just happened. A great Nova there by Pezz. A little bit of miscontrol there by Raza not picking it up. No, the drop, puppy. No.
The drop drops from the sky.
Every unit is so valuable right now.
Look at the forge in the main light. How unlucky can you get?
Oh my god, oh, the forge in the main, perpetually researching, but a pylon is on the way to help keep that up and help finish that upgrade. We're kind of, in a way, stabilizing, but Raza, he's forced to kind of turtle up here on a single base. Pezz has the map control. He is free to probe to his heart's content and get his economy back up and running.
You can indeed, and we see, like, these are the sort of games where DT is reign supreme. Widowmine's really useful. Just anything that's kind of good in general just becomes even better when the economy's kind of mistakes. As he gets the Ghost Academy, he's not going to be able to save that.
Exactly, it's going to be burning down. Meanwhile, a couple of units are forced to divert their attention here into the main base. Oh my god, at the same time, Widowmine drop does get in towards the bases of Pezz. They're going to go up.
Oh, decent hit there, but well done by Pezz to pull those probes away at that top base. There's still an active Widowmine. Hopefully he doesn't run those probes in. A good recall. Recall to Observer, actually. Wow.
Yeah, detection is here. These Widowmines are going to be cleaned up. The ones here at the main question mark is what I'll refer to this. But here at the other base, Widowmine shots are going to go off again. Thankfully, not too many workers to get killed.
Yeah, and Pezz being very careful. He still knows there's a Widowmine there. DT gets cleaned up, and oh no!
No!
Oh!
Oh, 15 probes go down just like that. Raza has the economic advantage, but here we go. The disruptors are coming out. This could still go either way. How good are the Novas?
Oh no, that's... The mine's still active? No! I can't watch. I don't have to watch.
Not like this, puppy. Not like this. Meanwhile, here we go. Raza, he's coming in. He's more than ahead when it comes to work. He has to be careful with the same. The Nova goes up. Oh, gets 3 Marines.
Yeah, man, is it going to be enough? Like, Stalker's really good units too. There's a bunch of medevacs and ghosts, however, and those Stalkers are so bruised. Like, I feel like with the economy in this game, I think Raza might actually be able to take this economic damage done by those Widow Mines.
He should. We'll see. The disruptors are exposed. He wants to dive on top of them. He does get one of them in the end, even gets the Immortal, and just like that, he can keep on going. He will back off though. He doesn't know. Oh, he's respecting that disruptor so much. He doesn't want to lose, not to that Nova.
Yeah, and the Observer goes down, and really good connection, but I just think there's too much fire, and there's Orbitals now back online and just muling, and I don't think Pezz's economy can stand this push.
It really cannot, mate. That Nova was beautiful, it was crazy, it was insane, but it's not going to be enough. Overcharge is going to be used defensively here for Pezz to try and keep his army up and running, but now we have a tank. We still have our Ghost. The Nova, it goes off again, but one Nova is not enough to kill a tank.
Oh, not blinks in, but that's the blink done, and Raza's going to jump in, and GG is called. Pezz falls, and Raza takes the 2-0 victory. Man, I got to rewatch this. We don't mind.
GG, well played. Raza does barely win the base trade there. It was so close. We had DTs coming in from from Pezz. We had Purification Novas as well, but you could argue that he was a little bit careless with his control in the main base. He lost his Colossi before he was able to recall. The recall itself was a little bit questionable. There was just so much chaos going on, and then we kind of reset with 2 base versus 2 base. But as you correctly pointed out, and we saw a little bit of it, those mines, man, those mines. Oh,
those mines were brutal, like unbelievable. But oh, you gotta feel for Pezz. StarCraft, it's a game of small margins, and it's just that, like, oh, things just like you're on top of everything. You know, as every race has, you know, Ducklings, disruptors, Widow Mines. You're on top of it, like dodging disruptor shots or splitting for Widow Mines. The one time you miss, it's always going to be the one that ends the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate for Pezz that he had to bow out that way. But really good management from Raza to kind of identify that base trade situation and see what would work best for him there. So crazy series, like, all up.
Crazy series, mate. Crazy series. GG, well played to Raza. He does take down the Australian Protoss player, and he will move on to face another Protoss, but someone not from Oceania, from Southeast Asia. He goes up against Ranger.
Yeah, Ranger, very formidable player. It's a very different playstyle to Pezz. So, yeah, Inkling to get a Mio Mike waiting in the winners bracket. He's like knowing Neo, but hopefully we'll get this series underway very soon. But yeah, Raza's been working his way through. He did drop down an upper bracket to Ranger beforehand, so it's going to be interesting to see how the rematch goes.
Yeah, Ranger has a very different style of PvT, a very different kind of thing that he's accustomed to. He does like the Swarm Toss style a little bit more. Swarm Toss specifically, not relying on any kind of robo-based units. It's something that was popularized by Haas, just mass expanding, going for charge lots and going for mainly charge lots and stalkers. So yeah, we'll see if he's able to showcase that. It is quite different. My condolences to Pezz. He had an amazing run, a very good run here in this qualifier, but unfortunately his run does end here.
Yeah, Pezz is going to have to bow out, unfortunately. Strong player, but yeah, we still got Ranger. There's still some Protoss presence in there. It's good that it's not very often you have every single race this deep into the game, you know what I mean? But yeah, we'll have to see. It looks like my screen has frozen again.
I was about to mention that yeah, your cam is having some teething issues a little bit there. I don't know if you were able to identify the issue the first time it happened, but yeah, it just frozen a little bit.
I just pressed the on and off button.
Okay. For the time being, we'll go back to the cat. We'll go back to the hat. Make sure there's no, like, because I'm not entirely sure the cam you have. Make sure there's like no overheating issues or anything like that. Just in case.
Does it get hot?
Some high quality cams do get hot.